And now I'm pleased to introduce Jayantha Herath. Dr. Jayantha Herath is an assistant professor at the Faculty of Medicine, University of Toronto, and a forensic pathologist at the Provincial Forensic Laboratory Unit, Toronto, of the Ontario Forensic Pathology Service. He obtained his MSc and medical doctor qualifications from Sofia Medical Academy and Medical University, which is in Varna in the Republic of Bulgaria. He obtained his specialist qualifications doctorate in forensic medicine, postgraduate diploma in legal medicine, and specialist board certification from Postgraduate Institute of Medicine, University of Colombo, Sri Lanka. He obtained his Canadian Specialist Medical Qualifications and Fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Canada from the Royal College in Canada. He is a Fellow of the American College of Pathology. Dr. Jayantha Herath.
Venerable Mahasangha, Honorable Paramavitana, and other distinguished guests, Nalaka and friends. It is my pleasure today here to talk to you in this occasion, very special occasion of this Nalaka's book. So I would like to start a little bit talking from the history of mankind, and then because what I practice, medicine, is an art. It's not exactly a science. So a little bit of history of human. When we talk about the last 200,000 years, since that the human being exists, and then for the last 50,000 years, the modernization starts. And then when we talk about the last 12,000 years, the human being, they started some sort of sedentary agricultural product developing, and then they give up their other habits of hunting, and they start doing some agriculture. But they did not completely give up their hunting habits, they continued. But when we talk about the 5,000 years to 18th century, during that time we had some harmony between this mankind and other animals and the nature. So what I'm talking about this is how we live right now, and how Nalaka is going to change our bad habits and toxic effects. Then in 20th century, 19th and 20th century, what happened? This advancement of scientific knowledge and development of various things. And where are we going now? The 21st century. 21st century, are we going to destroy ourselves with advancement? And where is our harmony? Is there a connection between us and the nature? What Nalaka talks now. I think we are lacking that connection and the harmony between us and the nature. That is a problem. Yes, we have some advancement of medicine, and we have technology. We can cure certain diseases. Even we can do some surgeries and remove unnecessary tumors from our body. And we can prolong our life by doing various surgeries and various medications, and even we can introduce certain devices into our body. And now people start transplanting heart. So even if you have some organ damage, you can transplant the organ and we can live. But where are we? How we live? How many jobs you do per day? And we migrate from country to country, and then you qualify, you have to get your recertification, you have to do certain jobs, and at the same time you have to study. When I talk about me last 25 years after high school, I have been studying and working. So if you think how much bad effects, toxic effects are accumulated in our body, because I see that daily. I dissect bodies, I see how human being, I can see things that modern technology cannot see. So by looking at that, I go back to this harmonious living and how people have been living in the Nalaka is a wonderful person actually. He connect this ancient well-being, ancient philosophy, mainly the Asian philosophy into our life. In Ayurvedic medicine, the Ayurveda treat the whole system. I am not an expert in Ayurveda, but what I understand from that, it treats the whole body and mind system. Right now what is happening, if you go to a doctor, have you seen that doctor treat your body and mind? Or that doctor is spending enough time to see your all complaints? What they ask actually, tell me what is wrong with you and what exactly you want to get it done today. Because they have been given certain minutes to see a patient. And then you might get an appointment to do a full history and physical examination. After that, that doctor will refer you to another doctor. And then if that doctor is not satisfied with that, he will refer you to another person. And like that, you will have to go through a whole system to identify what is wrong with you. But Nalaka knows very well about this because he comes from mechanical engineering background. When you get a vehicle and when you have some trouble in one part of the vehicle, if you don't treat that then and there, you will get the compensation, decompensation, and then the whole system will collapse one day. So that's what happens to us. We don't know what exactly wrong with our system in our body. And most of the diseases we have, actually the somatic diseases, are arising from psychological reasons. But in ancient philosophies and religions, they realized this and they treated very well. But now in modern medicine, most of the hospitals, they try to establish a spiritual unit. So by treating their spiritual requirements. That's why even you can bring your own religious priest to the hospital when it is really necessary. So how Nalaka address? Actually, you saw that little video, the harmony between us and the life. The right perception, right relaxation, right eating, right breathing, right exercise, right relationship, and right thoughts. We all have right to live. And we have a right to enjoy the good environment. I will tell you one example. So when I learn my postgraduate education in Sri Lanka, when we open bodies, my forensic guru, who is a very well known and very knowledgeable person, he told me, this is lung. So lung color is slaty grey. Slaty grey is very kind of ash grey, gallalli pattern. So when I came to, so I thought, okay, that is the normal color. Then what about those who smoke? And what kind of lungs they have? It's very black actually. But when I came to Manitoba first before coming to Toronto. So even in smokers' lungs, they were very pink, not because they were white. The environment was very good in Manitoba, even better than Toronto. So even in Toronto, because Canada is a very big country, right? Second largest in the world, but we have about 32 million, I hope. So the environment is, there's a large environment. We have lakes, trees, and not that polluted. But when you go to Sri Lanka, it's a small country, about 65,332 square kilometers, right? We have about 21 million of people. And then when you come to Colombo, it's very highly polluted. And you run here and there. Because of this modernization, what happens? We run around the bush again and again and again. That's why I said some people do about 2 to 3 jobs. So Nalaka, this is the time, like you describe in this book very well, the right thing, I think the harmonious living. It's to me like the Noble Eightfold Path, if you can follow. If you live, you can live long and live very healthy life. And it's, to me, the Art of Wellbeing book is a manual of life. So daily you can follow this book and live accordingly and be happy. Thank you.